Ooh, I'm on mute. Wait a minute. Oh, there you go. Can you hear me now? All right. It's your man, Dante the Dark Knight. Welcome to another edition of Eagles Talk, Draft Results Edition. Our draft was last week. Our Eagles are all finished choosing our team, our team of futures here, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to get everybody's opinion on you think it was a good draft, a bad draft. We understand that the grades are not truly in until these guys get on the field and we see what they can do. But we'll go by what everybody is thinking about the draft, especially us here. Admittedly, I haven't heard anything about anything because I'm still in Florida, so I have not been looking at the news, sorry, or anything like that. So I'm going to have to defer to my co-hosts here. But anyway, welcome to Eagles Talk. Draft is in. How do you guys feel about it? Pat's there, Michelle's there. You guys are out there. Let me know how you finish. What's the grade? When we want to start the quarter before we get into it? No banter or anything like that?
What about the first person in the room, Dante?
First person in the room. You want me to do that before? See, I got to get this thing down to a routine. Like, all right, let me do it. First person in the room tonight happens to be John Patisse from South Carolina, always checking in first, and he knew it too. He said, checking in first. Let me put him up there. Quavo is second. Whoop, whoop. What's up, Quavo? Gwen is in the house. Hey, Gwen. Hey. John Batiste, what's up, Eagles Talk? Jerry's in there also. He says, let's go. Let's go. All right, so that means you guys are excited about the draft. That's what I'm taking. James Nook is in there. James, it's been a while, man. You're right. It has been a while. Before I even read the comment, I'm like, yo, that's James. Richard is in the house. Richard said, what's up? Tony Byrne. Hey, Bird Gang. Bill Crow, what's up? Christopher Burton's in the house. I know he got a stick in his hand. I know he do. All right, you guys, let us know how you feel about the draft while we start this first quarter.
You're now listening to the
All right, you're watching Eagles Talk, the number one Eagles coverage show on Facebook that's by Eagles fans, for Eagles fans. And we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So this week I'm back. I'm back this week. So where's my libations? Where's my libations? Oh, here it is. All right, so this week I am doing the Patron Silver. And you guys let me know what you're doing out there. Pat, what are you doing?
I got the Terramata Tequila.
Terramata.
Yes, sir.
And Nichelle, the lovely Nichelle is being
Apothic Crush.
Apothic Crush. Oh, I like that. I think that. What is that? The red blend?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love red blends.
Yeah, I do too. So everybody get your wait a minute. I don't have a shot glass. Oh my goodness. Production down here sucks.
You're in paradise.
You got craft services? What's going on? Craft services dropping the ball.
Craft services dropping the ball. All right, I can't do it right from the bottle now. So hold on. Hold on. All right, I'll have to chew in a second. I'll catch up when I get my shot. All right, so I'm not going to hold you guys up. So let's take this shot in honor of our new Eagles, Devontae Smith and them and the boys. All right, so everybody, here we go. 3, 2, 1, down the hatch. All right, so let's hear it, guys. What do you think? Who's going to go first here? What do you guys think about the draft?
You know what, Michelle, I'll let you go.
Well, I'll just start with a grade. I give them a C plus. I think they started off strong with an A, but not taking a CB earlier, I think was problematic. You know, we do have an injury-prone old lineman, even though when he's healthy, he's a beast. You know, another Alabama boy. And, you know, today Angelo had on one of the Alabama reporters that covered them, one of the lady reporters that covered the team for the past several years. And she thinks the Eagles did great in the draft, personally. She thinks we got some studs from that school. But, you know, time will only tell. We'll see.
And what about you, Pat?
If we're just grading on the first round draft pick, they get an A plus.
No, we're not.
No, the whole draft.
Be honest with you, I looked at the draft and I criticized them for going after offensive and defensive linemen. Then understanding that this is a rebuilding process and the way to win. We always talk about it week in and week out when the season's around. Talking about winning at the line of scrimmage, and they went after guys for the line of scrimmage. London Dickerson, yeah, when healthy, he's a beast. But out of the 5 years in college, he was injured. You know, 4 to 5 years in college, he was injured, and that is problematic. That is something to be nervous to think about. That maybe this kid is, you know, he's going to be injury prone to his NFL career. But if he's able to stay healthy, you know, we did get a steal in the second round. That's a big if, though. I like Marlon Williams from La Tech. He's a big cleaner, they call him. 6'4", 268. 6'4", 283. I'm sorry. He go inside and outside. He complements Brandon Graham and Vector Cox. He has good hand movement. The second guy I really like, it's not the running back. It's actually I like Teron Jackson from I like Taron Jackson. He is a he has the moves. He
And
has
one
a
thing
lot of
I
pass
don't
rushing
have,
moves. He's
not to
from
get too
Coastal
like
Carolina. I'm
small,
sorry.
a lot of cup or
He
something
has a
like
lot of
that.
pass rushing moves, and he's able to win the point in attack. So I like that pick. That was a good pick. That was a surprise pick. Overall, if I had to give it a grade, I like the C plus, but just for them getting Gainwell. Gainwell was their fifth round pick, the running back from Memphis. He's a switch pace back. I have to give him a B minus. I give him a B minus.
All right. Well, I had my reservations about the O line guy in the second round, Dickerson, but I'm not mad that they went offensive line. I'm a little leery, like everyone else is, with his injury history. Um, but what I'm hearing is when this guy is healthy, this guy is a beast. So we possibly have our football version of Joel Embiid here. We can possibly have that if this guy recovers. Because let's remember, Joel Embiid, we drafted him. He was hurt. He didn't play the first 2 years, and look how he has bounced back to be. If he continues this way, he's going to be a future Hall of Famer. So the Eagles have went that same road and taken a guy who has tremendous upside. We do have a nasty taste in our mouth because of Sidney Jones, and that didn't pan out right. But this, from what I'm hearing, this guy is a hell of a player. It's a lot of risk in it, but we do need an offensive lineman. We did need a replacement for Kelsey, and this guy may be, if he's healthy, if he can remain healthy, he may be a stalwart at that position for the next decade. Further down, I like the Gainwell pick. I hear a lot about him. I hear that he's going to be similar to another back that Sirianni had in Indianapolis, where he got a lot of touches, receiving out of the backfield and stuff like that. So I think we're going to use him in the same token. The third round defensive lineman, I don't know too much about him. Tell me about him. Somebody tell me about him.
Yeah,
Doug Williams,
seriously.
he's well, I'm just going off from what I looked at him. He has the ability to move inside and outside. Being so that he wasn't their pick, they actually wanted to pick another defensive tackle. That when they traded back, he went to the I think the Lions or something like that. But with that being said, this guy is 6'4", 283, and he's very agile. His compound stats is crazy. I mean, well, pro day stats are crazy. I know we taking the pro day stats for a grain of salt, but this dude at 6'4", 283 ran a freaking 4.6. I mean, that's
All right.
moving. That's
Yeah,
moving.
that is moving for a big guy.
He lifted. He before his pro day, like a week or two before his pro day, he bench pressed 500 pounds. So he has power. I mean, he has power. Um, the thing about it is though, for those 3 years he was with La Tech. He was either a defensive tackle or defensive end. He had three different defensive coordinators. So he played under three different defensive schemes. So that made it harm his draft stock. But I think this guy can actually play and be our replacement for Brandon Graham.
All right. Well, am I hearing that is that the D lineman that they're talking about? Arms are kind of short or whatever.
Yeah, but at 6'4", listen, at 6'4", I mean, he's not
Because what I'm hearing is like, physical. I mean, the physical attributes play a big role. Like,
so he's like T-Rex. He's like T-Rex.
Like T-Rex. Oh.
You know what? You kind of like this. Get off me.
You know what I mean? How can you put your hands on people and you can't, you can't reach them? They're going to be pushing out the way.
That's technical stuff because there has been many people that had short arms who have been stalwarts in this NFL. John Randall, he played semi-pro. He was, he didn't have the greatest frame to be defensive end. But I mean, if you're hand fighting, you're able to, get in there and hand fighting, make sure the offensive lineman doesn't get their hands on you, and you're fast enough to get around the corner. I mean, that works well. So I think he might be.
All right, I'm gonna go to some comments, see what everybody else thinks out there. So I put Matt's up there. I'll bring it back up, but let me get to Byron. Byron said a B minus, solid. He liked it. B minus.
Okay.
Gwendolyn says I can't judge. Too, they put on green uniforms, however, based off the stats. And the opinions of sports expert, I give the draft a B minus. Fly Eagles fly. All right, that sounds kind of fair, right? John Batiste, love Howie or hate him, but he's an evil genius. Okay, all right. So he liked the draft. Um, Christopher Burton says, I'm on the fence about our picks after the first, so I don't know. Okay. And did I get to where's Matt? Oh, here's Matt. So Matt gave it a B plus. Matt, we would, I'm on vacation, so I didn't reach out to you, but we would have loved to have you tonight to get your reaction to the draft pick, because you and Pat are the only ones that probably know these guys past the first and second round. I don't know nobody out there. So anyway, he says B plus draft. Nervous about Dickerson's health. Love the Gainwell pick. So he loves the Gainwell pick.
Well,
Jerome Thomas says, I'm torn. I love Smith in college, but another little receiver with the first round pick. If we had stuck on number 12 and taken Micah, I wouldn't have been mad. But Micah goes to our adversaries, the Dallas Cowboys. Not thrilled. Bill Cole says, well, no, let's go to John Batiste. John Batiste says Landon Dickerson has been compared to Eagles great John Runyon, great size, and he's got a nasty side. And that's what's alluring. If this guy stays healthy,
they say he's a bully.
Yeah, I think we're going to love him if he stays healthy. Bill Kroll, not thrilled about the second round pick, but otherwise I'm okay with it. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, we're going to have to wait and see. And you're right, Chris. That's why I'm putting this up here. No shot glass. What the hell kind of second-rate production is this? You're right. I'm going to complain to the manager after this show. Quavo is a B minus, and David says I'm going to the Eagles. Going to the Eagles, a grade of B in this draft. So it looks like everybody is okay with this draft. Nobody,
Well, I kind of agree with Isaac there. He gave a breakdown on who I would have wished we took with the first 3 picks, but
where's he at?
I got it.
Further down, you got him. Put him up there.
All right, so how we would have took Smith at 1, Sammy Jr. at 2, Israel Cox at 3, something similar. Nobody would care how he did after that point. But how you got to be the smarter than anyone else.
He think he know better.
That is. But what I'm hearing from coming out the building is that he stuck to the draft board more, so which means listen to the scouts a little bit more. Although we did see everybody's seen the video. And that one, and Donahoe was not happy after that third round pick. He wanted to get a corner. He wanted to get a corner.
So since you haven't been in
he didn't want. Tell him who he wanted, Pat. They talked about that today.
Tackle. So at 72, the Detroit Lions took Aleem McNeil, defensive tackle out of North Carolina State.
So he wanted another defensive tackle.
He just wanted a different one.
Yeah.
Than they got. Right. That's all.
All right, well, that's not big then. So there was.
But he said we traded back for another 6th round pick. Who cares about a 6th round pick?
Yeah, who cares about it? Unless Howie is actually better at late round drafting than early round drafting. So maybe he's I don't know. Maybe he's like, yo, that's where I do my work. So let me get an extra 6th round. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see with these picks. And like we were discussing before the show, this is a rebuild. We are only going to be competing for the division because we're in the NFC least. That's the only reason we're going to be in a competitive position next year. If we were in, say, the West, it would be no doubt we would probably be last place. I mean, now, I'm not saying that this team's not going to go out and compete. They are, but do we think that we have an elite roster at this point? No, we do not. So it's going to take another offseason, another draft. So within what he didn't get this draft, I believe we can get next draft, especially like I was talking to Pat. Let's say, hypothetically, Jalen Hurts turns out to be something, and we don't have to go into next year's draft looking for a quarterback. We have 3 first-round picks to pick up 3 first-round talent. I mean, we can fill a quarterback.
Yeah, we could go heavy on defense, too, if we wanted to.
Yeah, we can go heavy on defense. We can get 2 cornerbacks next year in the first round, if that's the case. So, and then we're going to have a ton of cap money after next year when Winston's money falls off the book. So we're going to see a lot of this roster being completed in next year's offseason, but, we're not there yet. So we have to talk about this draft here and this offseason And who knows what Sirianni can do with this young talent and his staff. Hopefully, we talked about also, hopefully, that these guys do a better job of developing players. I don't think the last coaching regime did a good job at developing players. And hopefully this young, enthusiastic crew can really develop some of these young guys. What do you guys
They're
think about
very
that?
enthusiastic. they're really hype. Did you see the Eagles thing they put together about how each pick came about and how hyped Gannon was, how hyped Sirianni was? Like that was crazy. That was a different side that I was never expecting from him. And from a friend of mine who actually, was coached under him. I just talked to him yesterday. He said, "Yo, this guy, all he knows is football. He's a very good football coach. Whatever you give to him, he will elevate it." So I'm looking forward to it this year. I don't know why now, but I'm looking forward to this year.
All right, let's end the quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, that's the end of the first quarter. You are watching Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook. That's by Eagles fans, for Eagles fans. No broadcaster analysts here. We're just fans just like you. We like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots or sipping it too, like our co-host down there. We sip on our favorite libation. So this day I am doing the Patron Silver, and you know what? That's my gift. I bought a souvenir from Orlando, a shot glass. I'm giving it to my host because this is the best shot glass he's got from me. So anyway, I'm doing the shot of the Patron Silver, and Pat is doing the Terramana. You Terramana?
Yes, Terramana
Tequila, and Michelle is sipping on her red blend wine. So everybody, let me know what you're drinking out there. And to our Philadelphia Eagles and the young guys coming in, 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
All right, second quarter. So let's think about, we talked about the grade of the whole draft, but let's laser focus in on our first round pick, because that's when everybody felt really good. That's when we had won the draft on that night when we broadcast. We had won the draft there.
Small victory.
We had double crossed the Giants. That video you put up on our fan page, our group page there, was classic, of the Giants fan reacting to the Eagles.
That was hilarious. Yo,
big man.
I wish I cut it up and put it on here, man. That was hilarious.
And then a couple of us, I think, said that we would be happy, very, very happy, if the first pick in the draft announced by the Eagles was DeVonta Smith, and that's just what happened. DeVonta Smith did fall to the Eagles after a move up from number 12 to number 10, a move that was in conjunction with the Dallas Cowboys. They were co-conspirators with us and fouling the Giants there, because I think the Giants would have took him. But we have him now. How do you guys project this guy to do on this team this year?
I'm feeling what Jalen Hurts T-shirt he wore when he met him. When he after he touched down, Jalen Hurts went to meet DeVonta Smith in a Jordan Pippen shirt.
Word. All right.
I was like, well played, young bull. Well played.
96 on it, though.
Well played. Okay. So I'm not mad. I'm
actually excited. Like, I think after this draft and seeing the personalities of the coaches come out, and seeing how these guys, going through the tapes and stuff of that nature, and seeing that Jalen Hurts is actually still working. He has not took it off there yet.
Nope.
He's been inside the facility. He's been outside the facility. He's been improving to get better. I gotta appreciate that, and I look forward to this year. I can't wait to see what these guys look like.
They opted out of OTAs, and he's gotten them to work out. He's been working out with Reagor, the running back. So, he's still been putting in work, even though as a team they collectively opted out.
I love that. I mean, that shows you that the cohesion that he has with the guys going forward,
Right.
it's only gonna get better once they put the pads on. Let's be real.
That's right.
Once you get the young buck into the game plan, and he's walking around with the with the playbook already. He said once he left the facility, he was inside the playbook. So once you get him integrated into this offense, you got weapons. We got offensive weapons. We
And
Yeah.
got
and
a
one
lot
of
of
them,
It's about to be
oh
lit.
yeah, it's about to be. I'm excited to see what Sirianni draws up for these young guys now that we have what we consider a bona fide number one receiver. Right?
He
That's what we
did.
said.
He did.
yeah, yeah.
Called Smith like 2 months ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's when I was still wanting a cornerback. He did. He did.
right. No doubt. So we got him, Pat, and now you and Howie are on the clock. I'm only kidding. All right,
You know
because
what? But
the fans are tough out here. It's not going to be me. I mean, I don't remember, but you will see someone in the chat room. Don't let this guy be a bust. Somebody will be in the chat room like, Pat, remember you said Devont. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is how our fan base is. And it is not just relegated to the broadcast journalists or on radio uh, analysts. They'll come at us too. So I put a couple of comments up here. This is a long one right here. I can't pronounce your name though. Devontae will be a beast. He has the speed, the hands, and the route running. Not concerned about the size. He played and practiced against a lot of people that just got drafted too. So that means, and he put up numbers. And then what he's saying is this guy put up numbers against some of the people that's coming into some of the best corners that's coming into the
Facts.
league.
Facts.
So hopefully he can do it on this next level. We all hope and pray he can do it on the next level. We keeping Ertz, I was about to say, because he can still be a weapon. Because you just talked about the weapons. I didn't want to get
I
off
don't
of
know. I
Devontae
mean,
too much,
I
but
mean, we have Goddard, so I
he might be a
mean,
piece. He might be a piece in the overall scheme of things to trade for a corner or bring somebody else in. But right now, I haven't heard anything about us trading Ertz. He may still be here to start the season. Would it be a bad thing? No.
no, it wouldn't be a bad thing.
It'd be a
No,
great
in
thing.
actuality, if we kept Ertz and we put him on the field this year, you can expect a better performing Ertz than last year. He was hurt last year. He had some, I think he was all up in his head about the contract and things like that. But if he comes back, if we had to keep him, he has to come back with the mindset of this is an audition here because I think this is last year of his contract. So if he comes back, he's going to be playing for a new contract, whether it's with us or somebody else out there. So we can expect the best out of Ertz if he indeed does come back. But I think we have to wait until the June deadline because that's still lurking, and anything can happen until then. But right now, I'm not mad that he's still on the roster. Really.
I just want to throw this out there. I mean, BJ Mitchell put up there about Derek Stingley that's from LSU. He's supposed to be like the best cornerback in the in college football, and he's going to be a top 10 pick next year if he has an outstanding year like he normally does. He put up 200 yards against that guy, Devontae Smith.
Oh, word.
He put up 200 yards. I mean, just think
All
about
right,
it.
so we don't want
In
him.
2019, we want him. Yeah, we want him. In 2019, Alabama had Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Waddle. Then you had Smith. Smith was like the fourth guy, and he still put up over 1,200 yards. 14 touchdowns. Like,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
with a loaded receiving core who two of the receivers went number one went in the first round. So this guy can play. Oh,
Yeah.
See Jam.
All right, y'all can hear that music
Yeah, we could.
real good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, man! You got my fans on here.
yes.
Oh my goodness! All right, look. No, I'm only kidding. Look. All right, so Matt says earlier, already working out with Goddard, Sanders,
Nice hat.
and such. Yeah,
I see that.
but he's a loser in football, though. He's a Jet, so he only has good taste in one sport. Tariq says if our O line could stay healthy, that's like 6 wins right there, just because the line can dominate. I don't know about 6 wins. I know we're going to have an easier, lighter schedule than we had last year, but you're right. If our O line stays healthy, then there's no way in the world Jalen Hurts can have a worse year than Carson Wentz. No way. No way in the world. No way in the world.
It's historically bad. Yeah.
Especially if this line is healthy. Because that was a big part of Winston's thing too. He was playing against a beat up line, a line that how many times did we trot out a different starting lineup throughout last year? That line was trash last year. So he's going to have the benefit, hopefully, of a healthy line, and that right there should propel him to have a better year than Wentz did. And if he doesn't, behind a healthy line, then yeah, we got to go next year. But I'm gonna. My chips are in. My chips are in the middle of the table in Jalen Hurts. I'm down with him. And after all the speculation and questioning, I think it's safe enough for us to say that we're probably going to the season, or at least training camp, with him as the number one on the depth chart. What do you guys think?
I do think he's going to be number one, even though Sirianni said there's going to be a lot of competition, and it should be competition. Every position should be open because especially in this year, everybody. Things can't be, guaranteed just because you were this player last year. Just because you were this player last year.
All right, my friends, they've messed with me. All right, go ahead.
You was on a 4-11 team last year, so everything should be up for competition this year. And I mean that means everybody got to put in work to do their job this year.
What do you think about that, Michelle? What do you think about Jalen Hurts and his upcoming year?
I'm confident that Jalen's going to show something. I think he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder, to be honest, because so many people are doubting him. He's never not been on the big stage. Let's not forget that. He's been on the biggest stages in college football. So, that's what you're looking for. It's not just so much, at this level, size helps, but you got to mentally be prepared to be on the biggest stage. So he has the right attitude. He has the right work ethic. He's meshing well with his teammates, and that's important. That's important. We had the quote unquote Bronco Buck, and look what happened when he didn't have the mental fortitude that Jalen has, to me, in my opinion.
I totally agree with that assessment. But let's make no mistake, his mental fortitude is easy to have at this stage. When the kitchen gets hot, then we'll see what he's really made of. But I'll tell you this,
for sure.
He is very franchise quarterback like. You know what I'm saying? Like he's saying all the right things, he's doing all the right things, and he's just projecting or presenting himself as a franchise quarterback. Whether that's the case or not, he's walking in. What do they say? Fake it till you make it. Whether they want to name him or not, he's taking the mantle on, and he's going to, and he's performing in that role, and they're going to have to take it away from him. And I see him competing very hard. And somebody said on here, if what they say, if Hurts can beat out Flacco, Hurts is going to beat out Flacco.
Yeah, what kind of nonsense is that?
All right, anyway, the quarter is over. Let's end the quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
That was funny. I like.
All right, so you're watching Eagles Talk on Facebook by Eagles fans for Eagles fans, where we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so, and we have a lot of fun, and we include you guys in the conversation, and we also drink. So thanks for joining us, and today I'll be partaking in the Silver Patron. Pat is doing the Terramata Silver tequila.
Yeah, I'm
and
that out right now.
Michelle is sipping on some wine, a red blend. So everybody, I see what you guys are drinking. I'll put some of them up on the screen. But let me know what you're drinking out there as we toast Devontae and them. That's what we're going to call this draft class. Devontae and them. All right, so we're going to toast. Here we go. Down the hash, 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
All right, so I got to back up here because this was kind of funny here. Quavo says, Yo, they jamming in Florida. I'm about to pull up, Dark Knight. Come on down. I'm right outside of Miami, as a matter of fact. Right outside of Miami, like 20 minutes, like the Miami suburb. Arizona game show when you could be. Oh, yeah, that's true. Wentz sits when oh, that's funny. Jerry talking about Wentz, our old quarterback. And you know, I share this show. I share this show to a lot of groups, and one of the groups I used to share it to was Carson Wentz fan group. And I went by it today, and I was like, "Ooh, that's not appropriate anymore." Okay, I can't share it to that group anymore because they might not, he doesn't play for us, so I had to skip that. All right, let me see what some of you guys are drinking out there because I've seen some of them up here.
Got our YouTube viewers in the house.
Yeah, welcome YouTube viewers. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. Our biggest following is on Facebook, but we are trying to build that.
Twitter, we got our Twitter.
Yeah,
got to get more of them out.
EJ Peach and Heineken, that's what he's drinking. Oh my goodness, EJ Peach, you got to work tomorrow? Okay. Mike's Hard Lemonade, that's what Deshaun is drinking. JR is drinking Proper 12 Irish whiskey. I like that. That's pretty good.
Get out of here.
What?
Reggie Haynes said
151. Oh, you're going to be done. You doing 4 shots like us? Are you doing 4 shots like us? Yeah, because you're going to be done. That's the funniest thing when we had guests on and they take the shots with us, like Christopher Burton's show. Oh my goodness! I wish I had the episode number so you guys can go back and watch when he was a guest host on the show, and took 4 shots with. By the end of the show, it was hilarious. All right, so third quarter, 151. You just be careful out there, Reggie. Reggie, I hope you're already at home. You know what I'm saying? I'm cheering to Hennessy in Chicago. All right, Hennessy. All right. He's drinking the hen dog. Like
hen dog, that yak.
Yeah, yak. Look, Christopher Burton says I was done. Yeah, you was done. He was done. All right, so moving on. We got this. How many of these guys? Let's talk about this. How many of these this freshman class, so to speak, this rookie class, do you think is going to make an impact on our team? Who do you project gets meaningful minutes and makes an impact on this team? Pat, start.
Well, of course, Devontae. If you had to throw him out there, he's gonna make an impact right away. Then I look at the later draft picks. Kenneth Gainwell, he's gonna be a change of pace running back. The way Memphis used him last year, he was more like a wide receiver than a running back. I mean, he still had he had a game where he had 200 yards receiving and 100 yards rushing. Like that's crazy. That's Brian Westbrook like, you know.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I think the person that's going to have the most impact may be our later round picks, Marlon Tadapolu, defensive tackle from USC. He's about 6'2", 320 pounds. He's a force. Basically, he doesn't move. He's a nose tackle. He's going to end up playing a nose tackle technique that they have there. He may get a lot of snaps with us, especially with the rotation of the defensive line.
Who you perceive being impactful on this team out of this young class, Michelle?
I mean, obviously Devontae Smith is going to be impactful, but I think some of our fears of the injury-prone Dickerson, might go by the wayside a season or two from now. I think he's going to be a nice plug and play once he's healthy, because that was a problem for us. And we never really had a bully as a backup, even coming off the bench to come in and fill that gap, and if we want to see a high flying offense, it starts at the line.
Mm-hmm.
It starts at the line.
You're right. Yeah. I mean, come on. If this guy comes through, people will be singing how
seriously.
he's crazy.
So I'm excited to see him get his work ethic and get in rehab, even if he's not out there every downs, because they understand, his previous injuries. But if he can fill in some of the gaps and come in when somebody else is out or somebody else possibly gets injured, after he's done all his rehab, I think it's going to help us a lot. You saw what happened to Patrick Mahomes. They didn't have any backup linemen. Look what happened.
Yeah.
Look what happened.
And without a line, I don't care. And that's a perfect
And your
example.
linemen
Without
have
your
to
line,
be deep. You
Yeah.
have to have good linemen coming off your bench.
You do.
Your big guys are going to get hurt anyway, just for the nature of their size, how fast they move. Like you have to anticipate that. And you saw what happened when Patrick Mahomes didn't have anybody coming off the bench for his line. I don't want to be stuck like that, you know. So
I totally agree with you. I think that we saw it. That's a perfect example, Patrick Mahomes. So you can be a future Hall of Famer, a former MVP. You can be the best Jordan-like at the quarterback position, which is
right.
Patrick Mahomes. You can be all that, but without protection in front of you, you
You
will
ain't
look
shit.
very mediocre. Let's put it that way. And that's what he
That's
looked
right.
like in the Super Bowl. Very
That's right.
mediocre without that
Patrick
protection.
Mahomes ran for 500 yards during the Super Bowl.
Right, he had to.
He did. Just
He
going
ran for
sideline to
his
sideline.
life.
Yeah.
Ran for his life. Poor boy.
I do want to say
All
this
right.
though. As far as our
Go ahead.
impact, some guys that may surprise, and I know I see a lot in the chat. I don't want to bring it up yet, but I'm gonna bring it up right now. One of our undrafted rookie free agents scored 9 touchdowns in the season, 34 catches for over 500 yards with 9 touchdowns. Trayvon Grimes from Florida State, University of Florida. He's 6'4", 212 pounds. He's a bigger type wide receiver. And he goes against the ball. He actually scored on a 60-yard completion against Patrick Surtain. He jumped over Patrick Surtain, took it away from him, and ran down the field and scored it. It looked like Randy Moss type of play. So he may make the team, be an impact player. He probably will beat out JJ Arthur-Whiteside. I don't know what they're going to do with him. But we definitely have competition at the wide receiver position. I'm looking forward to this preseason.
Yeah, we're deep. We're deep.
All right, I see it. I'm in agreement with you guys. I think Devontae Smith will probably have the biggest impact of the rookies. But I would say a close second or in the top 3. I think it's going to be the running back. What's his name? Gainwell.
Yeah.
Gainwell. I think Gainwell is going to get a lot of. He's going to be involved a lot because he can catch out the backfield. Sirianni has shown that he likes to move. He likes a utility player like that, a running back that he can get the ball in his hands and he can make things happen. But to get the ball in this guy's hands, you have to have good hands, and this is what they're saying that he has good hands, and he may have the best hands in the backfield already. Miles Smith has some good hands too. He does. Didn't do too great last year, but he has some good hands too. But this guy coming out of the backfield, if he does well in training camp, I can see him having a huge role in the offense. Also, the defensive guys, I just don't know enough about, so I can't say that. What do you guys think about, or Pat? What do you think about that? The cornerback that they did choose, because I'm hearing that he was a value for when they got him. So what do you think about him?
Zach McPherson is, he's a transfer student from Penn State. His first 2 years, he played at Penn State, transferred to Texas Tech. I think he has some value to special teams. He's not the bigger cornerback that Michelle was looking for. He's a 5'10" type of corner, but he has unique skills, especially in the type of offense. Would he compete for the outside position? Absolutely. But if I was in the Philadelphia Eagles draft, after I signed my draft picks, the one place I would go for is a free agent, Steven Nelson. He played with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was outstanding outside corner last year. And I think he got released because of some troubles in some areas they had with the management last year. But I think that's a position of need to address. Not within house, but outside.
All right, I put that comment up there for Pat.
How about putting JJ at tight end? I said that.
Pat's all for that. Pat's all for that. See that?
I said that. He's a blocker, but at the end of the day, you got drafted to play wide receiver. If you can't do that at a high rate, putting you at tight end is just. I don't know.
Do you agree with this statement right here by Yender? I think by default, Zach McPherson he comes on the team as the second or third best corner we got. That's
Rodney. That's not Yender. Remember all his spelled
Rodney,
backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's backwards, man.
So he comes on the team as the third best corner. I hate to say it like that, but he comes on the team as the third best.
All right.
And
That's
that's
the quarter.
the end of the quarter.
All right. Quavo says Michelle is enjoying the concert. Tony
Yes,
says
it is.
turn the dope down at the happy hour, Dante.
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying
know.
to get him. I'm my host. He knows he hosted. He knows that I had the show, and he wants to play the music. I know he's a DJ, but I'm having a show here. He just wants to show that Florida life is good, and it is. So that's the end of the third quarter. You were watching Eagles Talk. We're talking about the draft results. How do you guys feel after Devontae Smith? I mean, it was euphoric after that pick. When I heard his name come out, I was euphoric. But after that, how do you guys feel about those picks, and what contribution will they make?
John Batiste is talking about Jacoby Stevens.
Yes, Jacoby Stevens. I could talk about him in the fourth quarter.
All right, yeah, we'll talk about that in the fourth quarter. So,
Okay.
You're now listening to the
all right, so I'm going to tap out. I'm not going to do another shot.
I
because
tapped
I
out.
got so I got my buddies here. We're gonna continue the party. Believe that. So I don't want to be sloppy. Anyway, this is Eagles Talk. We like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Tonight, I was doing the Patron Silver. Pat is still doing the Terramana, or have you tapped out, Pat? Have you tapped out? He has tapped out. So in this fourth quarter, there will be no shots, but I'll take a little sip of my wine. As in honor. And if you guys are still taking shots out at home, raise your glass and let's do it. Down the hatch for our Philadelphia Eagles. 3, 2, 1. So after draft, if there's the off season usually goes free agent. You sign some players. You get hyped about the players that you have coming on the team, and then the draft comes up and it fuels the fire or fuels the flame of that enthusiasm. And so where are you guys at now that we've had our free agency was horrible. I mean, that had no smoke. It wasn't even fire. It was no smoke at all in our free agency side because we didn't have a lot of money. So has this draft kind of reinvigorated you guys? Do you feel better about this season coming up after this draft? Are you guys excited now? Has the draft reignited your excitement for our Philadelphia Eagles? How do you feel?
Well, it's three sides of free agency. It's the beginning stages of free agency, the second tier of free agency, then after the draft free agency. And right now, I think we're looking at the goal of after the draft free agency. We got some undrafted free agents that's going to make this team probably. Trayvon Grimes. And but besides that, these cameras moving crazy.
I know, Pat. I mean, my production guy, man, he ain't worried about the camera. He just bumping all into it. I'm all over the side. Oh,
That's
goodness.
your jamming down there.
I like the Sade though. I like the Sade. I like the Sade.
But you know what?
He's like DJ Khaled with yelling his name all the time.
All right, so go ahead, continue, Pat.
Jacoby Stevens, he's a linebacker / safety. Well, safety turned to linebacker from LSU. He won a national championship with him in 2019. He actually plays very good in space. He more or less reminds me of Malcolm Jenkins. Not Malcolm Jenkins, all right? He's more of a third down type linebacker you would bring in. He can cover tight end. He's a thumper. He definitely can, get in there and mix better than Jalen Mills could. So I think he's going to be definitely an upgrade over Jalen at that position, that hybrid linebacker type position they had.
So is he a thumper like John Batiste says? Is he a thumper?
Yeah.
Oh, he is. So is he's going to play? What's his attributes? I mean, what's his physical build? How tall? How much he weigh?
Let me pull it up.
I mean, he played linebacker in college, right? Am I correct?
He played safety in college, but they moved him all. They moved him all over the field because when you have
he's versatile.
When you have the ability to move around the field.
I mean,
You don't
come on.
have-
I mean. All right. So let's get down to it. Is this guy going to be another Nate Jerry? Because that's what they tried to do with him.
I hope not.
That's all I need. Tell me
I
that.
really-
Tell me
I
he's
really
not
hope
going to
not.
be that. That's what I
really
need.
Please
not.
no. Please no.
I really hope not.
Because they're attempting to do the same thing, right? They're going to attempt to make him a linebacker, hybrid linebacker, and they did the same thing with Nate Jerry. They sold me on a bill of good that this guy had the aptitude to be able to transition into a linebacker, and that was as
That was
far
wrong.
from the truth as you can get. So
Man,
I don't.
I mean,
I hope
he's
that this
6'1",
guy is not the same way. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, he's 6'1", 215. He's not gonna be another Nate Jerry.
John Petit said Nate Jerry couldn't be another Nate Jerry. We had some very funny fans, man.
Man.
Oh,
No,
good.
he's not gonna be another Nate Gary.
Oh my God!
No,
All right,
let's
I'm
hope
just
not.
now getting this comment here. Oh, I am so slow. All right, let me put this on here.
Yeah, I'm tapping out, man.
Yeah, you call this
Yeah.
pussies. I said pussies. I didn't. At first, I was like, "Who he talking to?" And then I thought about it, like, "Oh, damn, he talking to us." Oh my goodness.
No,
he
he's
called us-
talking to y'all. He's
I
not
know.
talking to me.
Oh.
Talking to y'all.
Oh my goodness! All right, so Pat tapping out. I've never heard of such. Yes,
Yeah,
tomfoolery.
yeah.
Wow.
I'm tapping out.
All right, then, man. Look, it's our show. We can't be. Somebody got to represent. I'm gonna represent.
All right, we
We're
will
not
go
gonna
for
talk.
referee.
I don't
But
pee.
y'all.
I don't pee sitting down. Let's get that straight. No,
Look,
you're not.
testosterone got you all up.
Yes,
You ain't even gonna
Boom.
make it to the rest of your party, Dante.
I know, right?
Cheers.
Here we go.
How
Don't
about that?
threaten me with a good time
Peer
or passing out.
pressure.
or passing out.
Happy Thursday Eve.
Yeah,
I'm on. You're right. I'm on vacation. All right. Okay. So he likes Edwards and Singleton, a linebacker. That's what David Wong says. I see that. That's going to be they're going to be every down backs. They're going to be
Yeah.
the backs
Yeah.
that's playing all the time.
I like
Or-
Singleton. I mean, I
Or
said
no, I
thought
don't
he
know.
was
It might be
progressive
Harris.
nicely.
Is it Harris a linebacker?
yeah, he's a linebacker. He's probably going to be in the mix, but again, it goes back to
Because
what
Edwards might come
Sirianni-
out on the passing downs, right?
But this is what Sirianni said. This is competition. Competition. You breed the better plays. You put the better players in position.
Mhm,
You don't just
mhm.
give a player a position. I
Yeah.
like the idea of having a competition. Nobody positions on this team are set in stone right now.
Right.
You
I get
should
you.
do that.
I
So
feel that.
I mean, Edwards and Singleton, yes, they ball out together, but there's a possibility they might not be the starters because you might find better players in that position through competition.
And you know what? And that's key right there that you said that. I mean, we have to read between the lines on some of the things that this guy has said. And what I'm reading when he said there's going to be competition at every position, hopefully what I'm reading is that whoever wins in that competition is going to play. There's not going to be, I know there, and we talk about it, there's always that political, those draft pick politics that go on any team, right? And we've seen a lot of that with when Doug Peterson was at the helm, and hopefully, and I don't know if Sirianni has the balls to stand up to his boss like that, but hopefully he's a coach that will campaign for playing the best player at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't care if the best player is a 6th round pick and he deserves to play above a 2nd round pick. You know what I'm saying? Throw the draft pick politics out the window. The good coaches do that. I always go back to Pete Carroll and in the year he drafted Russell Wilson. They had just signed McGlenn to a big time free agent contract. But Pete Carroll saw that Russell Wilson was outplaying this guy tremendously through it, and he did not hesitate to name him the starter going into the season. Forget the $20-something
And the rest
million
is
dollars.
history.
Yeah, and the rest is history. So that's what good coaches do. They look at the draft politics, they just throw them out the window. Whoever's playing the best plays in the game. And we had that. We had a lot of that. We had too much of that. We had that with Fulgham. Fulgham was cut. And looking back and reading the story, Fulgham was a player that Doug Peterson wanted to start. But because of Howie and their interference, they cut this guy. They cut him. He came back and he wound up being the best receiver we had until he got hurt. I found out he was hurt late in the season, so that's why a part of his disappearance was because of his injury last year.
He was good. I
Yeah,
thought
he was good
he
when he
showed
played.
some promise. Yeah, so I was a little disappointed that they didn't give him a little bit more, clock. So
So
we
hopefully,
all know what's going on there.
hopefully Sirianni is that type of coach that
Yes.
campaigns to
Yes.
play the best players and tell
Mhm.
Howie don't fuck with my roster. I got this. I'm the one in practice. I'm the one who's seeing these guys. Let me
Right,
play
right,
who I
yeah.
think should play.
Yeah. I hope he fights for that.
He definitely needs to fight for that because
Yeah,
listen,
he needs
how
to.
much,
He
as
needs
much
he,
as I like
the,
Greg
the
Ford,
draft pause after the draft.
Uh-huh.
Fall back. Fall back.
as much as I like Greg Ward, in no way, shape, or form should he be our punt returner going forward. No
All right.
way.
Let me go to Rodney's comment. I think we thinking in terms of Jim Schwartz defense when we are analyzing certain players, but truthfully, we don't know who's really going to fit Gannon's scheme besides the two players we got from the Vikings. That's very true.
Yeah,
That's very true.
fact.
But what I will tell you this is, I have been hearing from talk radio and reading is Gannon has the ear of personnel. So
Okay.
I don't think that it's as big as or his influence is like Schwartz, because we know Schwartz had the ear of the guys that ran personnel. But he has the respect. So I think some of these players on the defensive side of the ball, and the reason why he was one of the coaches that was so excited is that they listened to him and they actually picked players that he probably gave a thumbs up to as being a good fit for his style of defense. So that bodes well for our defense coming up. But hopefully, man, and this guy is seen as a very young and upcoming talent. He might not be with us too much longer. Especially if this defense takes off this year, we may be saying goodbye to Gannon. Well, no, I'll say he'll be here at least 2 years. At least 2 years. Because his next progression was to defense coordinator. And thank God Sirianni brought him here. So we have one of the up-and-coming young defensive minds in the game. And he probably, his next job is coach, right? He goes to coach. You don't go to another defensive coordinator job,
unless
right?
you really like the position of defensive coordinator and you love the team that you're with. Like if you're some coaches don't want to go. Some coaches don't want to go.
Well, I hope I'm sorry. I'm hoping that he's very successful in doing his job, and that he is one of those that you're talking about, Pat. That he doesn't.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. Because you know what, we had that, man. God bless his soul, but Jim Johnson was that player, man. I mean, that coach. He only dealt with the defense. He had no aspirations to be a head coach, and he did his job superbly for as many years for us as possible. And that would be a great find if we can find another person like that who just loves just to coach defense and is not interested in going anywhere.
Right, that wants to stay in that lane and just stay in their lane and not go out. A specialist.
Right, a specialist. I would love that. But I'm excited to see what this guy brings, how he's going to construct this defense. Because are we not, I'm asking you guys out there too, are we all not longing for the days of past when our defense was our identity? When our defense, was our identity, when we was coming in and we was slapping people in the face, punching them in the mouth.
That's right.
I'm looking forward to that.
The Axeman, Hugh Douglas, and going to the crew before them when Buddy Ryan. Come on, how many concussions did we give the Cowboys back in the day? How many?
Oh,
who we send out on the stretcher again?
I think we're going that route. I think we're going that route with this draft. As you can see, the main focus was the front line, the defensive line, and securing, getting big guys, not these hybrid guys. Like even though Marlon Williams is a hybrid. He's still a big 6'4", 283. Like that's
Right,
still
right.
not small. It's not like you went out
Yeah.
there and got a Marcus Smith at
No.
6'3", 220. Say he's going to play defensive end and defensive tackle. No, you got a guy that actually can inflict some pain.
Yeah. All right. So Rodney is elaborating on what he said about that. He says, I just hear a lot of people saying this guy and that guy could play the Malcolm Jenkins role when we don't even know if there's going to be a Malcolm Jenkins role.
Right.
That's very true. I agree with that also. Yeah, we're talking about that Malcolm Jenkins role and all that, but we're comparing it to the last defense regime that was here. And we don't know what Gannon's philosophy is going to be. So we do have to take a wait and see approach to how he's going to implement his defense and how it's going to look on the field. I mean, if we had to take any type of if we had to compare it to any type of style, it would be closely compared to what, the Viking style, because he came from up under that coaching regime on defense, right?
I mean, he runs from what he was talking about. He does run an aggressive cover too. So we might see something. He might change it up. You might see that you have more D-backs on the field. Being as though he's in a conference that has nothing but wide receivers, he might be in a position where as though he has more zone blitzes, cover 2 types than anything else. So.
All right. So Don Batiste is clear now. He says that. He said cover 2 zone heavy blitz scheme. All right, I'm with that heavy blitz. Yeah. I was just going to ask: is he an aggressive type coordinator? And if that's it, if he's a heavy,
I'm all about the blitz.
Yeah, I'm all about the blitz, yo. We want to see
about the blitz.
We want to see our D line or our defense getting after the quarterback. So if he's that type
pressure,
of guy,
24/7.
yes,
24/7.
all the time.
Pressure.
We come from Buddy Ryan. We come from Buddy Ryan. I mean, you don't get any more pressure than that 4.6 back then. I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah, Tyrese mentioned that they don't let you hit like that. They don't, but you can still hit. People are still getting hit. You may can't launch yourself like you used to, but you make a clean hit, you can still put some people down.
Right.
You just got to be real disciplined about how you hitting folks these days. I get it.
Going 100 miles an hour, I got to be disciplined.
All right, so tell me the linebacker we got again, Pat. He's an athlete, right? You said he's a hell of an athlete.
Yeah, Jacoby Stevens. He's 6'2", about 230. He is an athlete. He plays safety. Right. I mean, I don't know if they're going to put him at safety or linebacker. We don't know. They say they're going to switch him to linebacker, but at the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen. It's just a wait and see.
Yeah, it is wait and see.
Was he the only linebacker we drafted?
No, we drafted
Teron, right? Teron something. Is he a linebacker?
I'll pull it up right now. Give me 1 second.
So Teron Jackson, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I'm on vacation.
We drafted Teron Jackson, yes, Coastal Carolina. He's a defensive end, but we also drafted Patrick Johnson.
Oh, that's it.
Outside linebacker Tulane.
Okay, so, that's the guy.
We got a lot of defensive players in this draft.
Mm-hmm. We did. We don't know what's going to shake out of that tree of that whole round of defensive players, to be honest with you.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
That is the fourth quarter, man.
Yeah, I know, Chris. You being extra. We can't put that energy out there. Don't put that we can't put that energy out there.
What did he say? What did he say?
No, we can't.
I just want defense to give opposing players some CTE care packages. Oh. Okay,
that was back in the early 90s.
Yeah. We did. David Wall says heavy blitzing, love it, but we better have the secondary to hold up, and that's true.
You already know how I feel, David. Our cornerbacks. But next year's draft is going to have more cornerbacks in it.
Right, it's going to have more.
So I'm okay.
If Jalen Hurts can fill this role as Frank, if we don't have to go get another quarterback,
it's going to be a wrap.
It's going to be a wrap. We get 3 first-round picks. Are you kidding me? Yeah. We can get 2 first-round. We can get 2 cornerbacks in the first round. Oh my goodness! I mean, it's going to be crazy. But guys, every good thing must come to an end, and our show has to come to one tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in and talking Eagles football with us. We will be back next Thursday, same bat channel, same bat time, 7 p.m. Make sure you tune in. I'm your man. I'll be back home in Delaware by then, so I'll see you guys back on the north side.
We won't have the concert in the background.
No, I won't have the concert in the background. So I'm going to continue to enjoy myself until I fly out of here on Saturday. You guys continue to be safe where you're at. And I'll tell you about some stories when I get back about things being different down there. Let's just put it that way. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys next week. For my co-host, Pat and Michelle, we're out. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
We go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, smash him up, crack